The Trump administration today stopped short of declaring a public health emergency for the Wuhan coronavirus, but extended screening for the virus to 20 U.S. airports. HHS Secretary Alex Azar said at a briefing the administration has offered assistance from the CDC to Chinese authorities either directly or in conjunction with the World Health Organization, but has not yet received the go-ahead, though representatives are still talking. The outbreak has killed 132 people in China and infected close to 6,000. There are at least 47 cases confirmed in 16 other countries, including in Thailand, France, and the U.S. and Australia, though deaths have been reported outside China. Health officials are investigating more than 100 possible cases in the U.S. 5 are confirmed, and let's listen in.
This is a very fast-moving, constantly changing situation. One challenge is that with an emerging virus like this, our current assessments are based on an uncertain denominator. Our denominator is the 4,500 plus cases that have been identified in China, as well as more than 60 cases in other countries. But these early cases are naturally the most severe cases because patients presented themselves to healthcare providers. How does this skew our understanding of the virus? First, we're still determining the real speed of spread of this disease, which is represented by a number known as R0, which is the average number of additional people infected by a given person with the disease. One paper found R0 estimates for this virus ranging from 1.5 to 3.5, as compared with, say, a number of 12 to 18 for measles. We're also still learning about the severity of the virus. Currently, China is reporting more than 100 deaths from the more than 4,500 cases. That is a high rate. But again, the cases that have been identified skew to the severe, including patients who are older or have other illnesses. The mortality rate may drop over time as we identify a broader set of cases. We're also working to understand the incubation period. This number varies for coronaviruses, with extremes being anywhere from 2 to 14 days. That number could be higher or lower for this virus. China has reported there may be evidence of asymptomatic transmission. All of these questions must and will be answered in order to provide a proper risk assessment. We are urging China. More cooperation and transparency are the most important steps you can take toward a more effective response. Beyond that, all options for dealing with infectious disease spread have to be on the table, including travel restrictions.
Right now, we know of 18 international locations that have identified cases of this new virus, including the United States. To better protect the health of the American public during the emergence of this novel coronavirus, and based on the evolving information from China, CDC has reassessed its entry strategy and decided to expand to screening travelers from the 5 airports originally to 20 airports in the United States.
Vaccines. We have already started at the NIH and with many of our collaborators on the developing of a vaccine. The one at the NIH that I'll just mention very briefly is in collaboration with a company called Moderna, and the platform is a messenger RNA platform. When the Chinese isolated the virus, they put on a public database the sequence. Given the technology of the 21st century, we were able to use that sequence, pull out the gene for the glycoprotein spike of the particular coronavirus, and make that the immunogen to be used in a vaccine. Right now, that's being prepared. I anticipate, with some cautious optimism, that we will be in a phase 1 trial within the next 3 months. I want to emphasize, because it's sometimes confused, going into a phase 1 trial does not mean that you have a vaccine that's ready for deployment. It will take 3 months to get into the trial, 3 months to get safety and immunogenicity data, and then you move into phase 2. What we do from that point on will be determined by what has happened with the outbreak over those months. Remember, we made a phase 1 trial with SARS, and we never had to use a vaccine. But nonetheless, we are proceeding as if we will have to deploy a vaccine. In other words, we're looking at the worst scenario, that this becomes a bigger outbreak.